Greetings once again. I welcome you to another yet YouTube video. This is part 2 of quadratic inequalities. I've already explained that when we deal with inequalities, our quadratic is written in this format whereby we're having ax squared plus bx plus c less than 0, or ax squared plus bx plus c, which is less than 0. This is greater than 0, my mistake. Positive and negative. Greater than 0 is positive, then less than 0 is negative. Positive, then negative. Or can be written in this format to have ax squared plus bx plus c greater or equals to 0. We are also talking about what? Positive. Or ax squared plus bx plus c less or equals to 0. We are also talking about what? Negatives. Don't forget that. The positives and the negatives of these quadratic equations. We use this sign, small 0. I don't know how can I call it. Like just a small 0 for a less or greater than. But we use a shaded dot for less or equals to, or greater or equals to. So the previous video we were dealing with this sign, hence we are using the shaded dots. But in this one we are going to use a circle, a small circle, because our sign here is greater than 0. So what you need to do here, I told you that the first thing is to make this thing to be more simple as possible. So you just have to change this sign to become equal sign. That's the first thing that you need to do. We have 2x squared plus 6x is equals to negative 4. We change this greater than to become equals to a negative 4. So obviously, by now we understand what to do from here. We are solving for x. Don't forget, what you need to do is to transpose this to the other side. We are going to have 2x squared plus 6x plus 4 is equals to 0. We have transposed 4 to the other side. It became what? Positive 4. Looking at this, we can tell that we have a relationship between the numbers. And our x squared now is not equals to 1. I'm not saying that you cannot factorize. You can factorize this, but try to make this as simple as possible. How do you do that? You can divide everything by 4, because by 2, because 2 it is our common factor. So we can have everything divided by 2. Everything divided by 2, divide here by 2, divide here by 2, divide there by 2. So we are now going to have x squared plus 3x plus 2 is equals to 0. After dividing everything by 2, we remain with x squared plus 3x plus 2 is equals to 0. Then from here, we introduce the brackets. You introduce the brackets to be able to solve this easier. Factors of x, x and x. Factors of 2, 2 and 1. What is the meaning of this? When the sign here is positive, it means that we must have same sign inside the brackets. And the signs that must be inside the brackets, they must be positive, because the middle term is positive. We are going to have plus and plus. Then from here, first brackets equate to 0. Second brackets, we also equate to 0. Then our x is now going to be negative 1, or our x is going to be negative 2. So our critical values are going to be x is equals to negative 1 and x is equals to negative 2. Then from here you draw a number line. We know that we're going to have 0, 1, 2, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, just like that. So our equation is going to be in that form. So now, what you need to do here, you go and locate the critical values. You locate our critical values, which is what? Negative 1. Negative 1 is here. And negative 2, which is this one. So don't forget, we have numbers between negative 1 and negative 2. We also have numbers above negative 1. We also have numbers below negative 2. So you select a number between negative 1 and negative 2 and replace it in the value of x. Somebody can say that, no, we don't have a number between negative 1 and negative 2. No, we do have numbers. We talk about negative 1, 2, negative 1, 9, negative 1, 5. These are numbers between negative 1 and negative 2. So we are going to use negative 1, 6. Negative 1, 6. Yeah, let's use negative 1, 6. Where do we replace this number? We substitute it in the simplified inequality, this one here. Let me write it here. We are going to have 2x squared plus 6x plus 4 must be greater than 0. Must be greater than 0. The only thing that we have done here is to transpose this number to the other side so that we can have this kind of equation. Let's substitute. We have 2, negative 1, 6 squared plus 6, negative 1, 6 plus 4. Our answer here is negative. It means that we're having negative here. We're having negative there. So now let's substitute with a number above negative 1. We can use 0. 0 is bigger than negative 1, people. Can use 0 here. We use 0. So we find that this side, our quadratic, is going to be positive because our answer is positive there. Now let's substitute with a number below negative 2. We can use negative 3. Negative 3. When you substitute with negative 3, we find that it's also positive. It's also positive. So having negative, positive, and positive, what is the meaning of this? It means positive. This is the positive. That means positive. Means that we are looking for a place where our graph is positive. And with this, we can tell that our graph is positive from negative 1 going upward and from negative 2 going downward. So how do you write this? You say x is less than negative 2 or x is greater than negative 1. X is less than negative 2 or x is greater than negative 1. This is our final answer. Questions, don't forget, send them on the comment section. Like the video,